Hi there. Just want to talk about this guitar that I ordered from China. Cost me £220 plus the import tax, which was £24. And it is absolutely astonishing. And I do not see how the big expensive American companies like the Taylors, like the Gibsons or the Martins are going to keep going unless they've got people stupid enough to keep paying the money that they ask for their guitars, because this is ridiculously good for the price. It is absolutely astonishing. It needs one or two little things I'd want to change. Don't like the bridge is plastic, the nut is plastic, and these the string pegs are also plastic with an abalone inlay, but the rest of it is absolutely extraordinary. It's made by a company called Himor. I think it's Himor, might be Himor, probably Himor. They are Chinese. They make for other companies or they make under other names like Artisan, for instance. But this is one they've produced under their own name, and to be honest with you, the quality of build is absolutely astonishing. I am just blown away by this guitar. So let's talk a little bit about it. The side and the back are what they call white walnut. Now there are, from what I can make out, having a good look at it, they are probably a laminate back and sides. So the inner is probably, I don't know, it's difficult to tell what the inner might be. It doesn't really specify in the spec as to what they've used. But I mean, look at this. Just look at this box matching. That is stunning. The side's beautiful. It doesn't come with a pickup. That's something I'm going to sort out. But at 200 quid, just over 200 quid, I'm really not surprised. It's bound with wood, which looks like a light mahogany. It's built with an armrest, which is, for this price, is just ridiculous. Again, it's a white walnut finish. It's probably a laminated armrest. The top is solid spruce. Not sure, probably a Sitka spruce. Beautifully finished with abalone inlay all around the inside, the outsides, also around the sound hole. It's a rosewood bridge, rosewood fingerboard, beautifully inlaid again, really nicely done with lovely little snowflake and diamond inlays. The neck looks like a light mahogany with a dark mahogany warp strip. Headstock is scarved. They've done a really nice job of this too. Look at this. Look at this. They've actually scarved it so that the scarving sits over the warp line. The front of the headstock is probably pear wood, inlaid with abalone. Machine heads, curiously enough, are old-fashioned without the covering. They're actually quite good. Considering they're probably classified as cheaper. I rather like them because they remind me of the old Yamahas before they started boxing the mechanisms in. Of course, means that if you want to lubricate them, you can. And it's just an astonishingly well-made guitar. I mean, look at this. The joining on the heel, it's nicely capped again. Looks like it's capped with a little bit of probably white mahogany again. It's a lovely white mahogany strip down the back. This is just an extraordinary guitar. The only issue I've had with it is getting a case for it, because the way they've built it, the table is your standard size, but then of course, having put the armrest on, it widens the body, so I'd need to find a case that was wide enough. So what I've done is I've gone for a jumbo case for a Gibson, but without the hips, so that actually it's got a flat case. I'm waiting for it to come, so I can't show you that at the moment. But this is an extraordinarily beautifully made guitar, and I tell you what, the playability and the sound are just something to behold. And I just think it's incredible. I mean, I've had numerous guitars. I've got an Adamus, Ovation Adamus, which is beautiful. I've got an Emerald X20, which is carbon graphite. The Adamus is also carbon graphite. Both very expensive guitars. I mean, the Adamus to replace now, you're looking at £3,000. I've got a Rainsong 12-string, you're looking at £3,000 plus to replace that. So to pick up a guitar like this, that is £220. I got it from Alibaba. And this is the bottom of the range. And if you actually look up at the ones that they're doing higher up, where they've got this armrest, they've also created extra sound holes in the armrest. And I'm just utterly blown away, and I love the sound of it. I mean, this is a really beautiful sounding guitar. I was listening to James Taylor talking about his handmade American cedar-topped guitar, and I'll be honest with you, he probably paid, and my guess is for the guitar, he's probably talking about £3-4 grand at least. And I was looking at some of the Greenfield guitars, which are coming in at £14,000, £14,000, and they're doing the same sort of technology on their guitars in terms of creating an armrest as this is. This is just over £200, and I would not hesitate to be using this on stage. I'm going to be fitting a pickup to it, and I had a look at all the different pickups, and you can obviously get the B-bands, and you get the Fishmans, and so on and so forth. I'm actually getting one called a Sonic X, which is Chinese, which has cost me 30 quid, because I thought, you know what, pay 200 quid for the guitar, let's put a £30 pickup on it, which is really a copy of, actually it's a copy of a Bags pickup, and I saw a review for it, and the guy who was reviewing it was a professional guitarist, and he just was raving about it, and I thought, you know what, I really think that the American guitar market, raking in thousands and thousands of pounds of people, purists who've got to have a Taylor or whatever, are just going to be struggling in the modern financial climate when you can get something like this. The action on it is incredibly good. It's incredibly good. Listen to this. There's no buzzing. It's a lovely flat neck. I mean, the Ovation I've got is probably the best guitar I've ever played, but I tell you what, right up here, love it. Incredibly good sounding guitar for £200. Slightly out of tune, but there you go. And I wouldn't hesitate to say to anybody who's thinking of getting themselves a guitar that you can play comfortably on stage, and something as beautiful looking as this as well. I mean, the finish is just gorgeous. There's something about wood that carbon graphite guitars don't give you. They don't give you that nice sound, and I don't suppose this is being made for the most expensive wood, but I think the technology that's going into making these guitars now is just making them incredibly saleable. And you're finding that companies like Vintage are doing the same. They're now producing guitars that are a snip at £300, £400, £500 that professionals are not hesitating to use on stage. And long may it continue, because I, for one, do not have £14,000 for a Greenfield or £3,000 for a Gibson or a Martin or whatever. I mean, as I say, I've got an Ovation. I got that reasonably cheaply because I paid £1,500 a good many years ago. It's a good, probably 15 years old now. It's great condition, but to replace it now, it would just cost me an arm and a leg. Listen to this. you go, Himor. A company to definitely look out for, and a guitar that's definitely worth thinking about. It took about 3 weeks to come, and I obviously then had to wait until it came through customs. They sent me a letter saying it was sitting waiting at the Birmingham depot. £24. Well, okay, so next £24. That's great, because the last time I bought a guitar into this country, which was the Rain song, the tax on it was coming from America was over £200. So to have a tax of £24 coming from China, can't go wrong. There you go, lovely guitar. Thanks.